The big questions that people wanted answers to are, will Maryland be back in phase one? And in Virginia, are they going to go into another shutdown? Now, Governor Northam, he didn't address that answer directly, but he did emphasize the need to wear masks and follow the COVID-19 guidelines, especially with the weather getting colder and families thinking about gathering indoors more. While Governor Hogan, well, he took a more aggressive approach. So let's start with Maryland.
Today, I am announcing that effective tomorrow, November 11th at 5 o'clock p.m., so roughly 24 hours from now, the capacity for indoor operations at bars and restaurants will be reduced from 75% back to 50%.
The positivity rate has gone above the 5% benchmark in 11 of 24 jurisdictions across the state. People who recently tested positive for COVID-19 reported working outside of their home, dining indoors at a restaurant, as well as traveling outside of the state. Because of that, Governor Hogan is also issuing an expanded travel advisory.
Under this expanded travel advisory, all Marylanders are strongly advised against all non-essential out-of-state travel to any of the 8 states with a positivity rate above 10%, or any of the 35 states with average case rates above 20 per 100,000. This applies to all personal, family, or business travel of any kind.
So no, we can verify. Governor Hogan isn't putting all of Maryland into phase one. Our verified team investigated this viral claim suggesting that he did and found that only Baltimore City, not the entire state of Maryland, will be reverting back to phase one. Now let's talk about Virginia. Virginia has been averaging more than 1,000 new cases a day for the last 3 weeks. It's the longest streak we've seen of this kind since the pandemic began. So how will this holiday season be impacted by the increase in cases in the Commonwealth? Well, Governor Northam weighed in on that today.
I'm not saying don't celebrate Thanksgiving, but if you're planning to gather with people outside of your household, think about ways to do it more safely.
He recommended eating outside as the best option, but if that isn't available, he said keeping the space well ventilated and wearing a mask when you're not eating will definitely help. Across the country, the average daily number of cases soared 34% over the past week. But according to data from the COVID Tracking Project, testing has only increased 7.41% over that week. Currently, Virginia is processing about 18,000 tests per day. Today, Governor Northam announced a deal with 3 labs that will allow the state to add about 7,000 new tests per day by the end of the year.
It allows us to increase our testing capacity specifically to support high-priority testing campaigns, such as community testing in surge areas, outbreak investigations, and testing in congregate settings, such as our nursing homes.
Governor Northam also addressed penalties for people and businesses that aren't complying with the COVID-19 regulations that are in effect. But guys, those regulations or the penalties for those regulations don't go into effect until March of 2021.